New video has emerged of what appears to be security forces beating men in Damascus on Friday. We can't independently verify the footage, but it reveals protesters being hit with batons by men in uniform. Several of the protesters are being stuffed into a car. It reportedly happened in the Barza district of the capital. Anas al-Abdeh is a Syrian opposition activist and the head of the Damascus Declaration Abroad. He joins me now from London. Good to speak with you, sir. Let's do this. Let's focus on the conference. Is it a sham for hand-picked media organizations, we must say, and government critics, or a sincere attempt to listen to the opposition?
Well, I think it's a publicity stunt. Let me put it into perspective. This meeting is organized by a group of intellectuals and writers who refer to themselves as independents. So really they do not represent any political parties in Syria, and their influence within the political movement, political opposition movement in Syria is very limited. And certainly their impact on the street and part of the Syrian nonviolent revolution currently is almost negligible. So I think this is being utilized by the regime in order to show that something positive is happening. And we see two main problems with this meeting. First, it was organized by the agreement and the consent of the Syrian security services, to the point that even they asked some of the Syrian ambassadors abroad to convince some of the independent figures in some of the Arab worlds and in some of the European countries to attend, but failed to do so. Secondly, the political ceiling of this meeting is within the framework of the Syrian regime. And this is what one of the leading participants said to the official Syrian media. We think this is absolutely incompatible with the just demands of the Syrian nonviolent revolution that is carrying on at the moment.
Well, can I jump in for a second? Can I jump in for a second?
Yeah.
Let me do this then. All right, so it's a sham, it's a dog and pony show in your view. If you were in the room, and I know what a long shot that is, or if you were on a conference call in some way, in the room for this meeting, what would you be saying to the government? What would your demands be?
Well, first of all, let me confirm and let me say that more than 1,700 people sacrificed their lives since the 15th of March, more than 3 months ago, not because they want political dialogue and not because they want law here and law there. It's because they want to attain freedom, dignity and democracy. These are the real issues. And unless the regime understands that and accepts this fact on the ground, no dialogue will be sustainable. Also, very important, one of the most important prerequisites of any dialogue is to stop the targeting of civilians. What we are seeing, even at the day of this meeting, we are seeing that the Syrian regime security forces are still targeting civilians, still killing peaceful protesters, and forcing many thousands of the Syrian people to flee their country and take refuge into neighboring countries. We cannot accept any kind of dialogue while a gun is pointed to our head.
Okay, last one here. Is the government, I know you consider this a sham conference, but is the government, let me just try this, playing a rather clever divide and conquer game? You've got hand-picked opposition folks in the room, and perhaps the government comes out in a press conference and says, we will agree to some of the points made by the opposition in the room. Doesn't that further marginalize people like you and groups in exile?
Well, I represent Damascus Declaration. Damascus Declaration is inside Syria. It is in Damascus. The main leadership of Damascus Declaration is in Syria. I only represent the outside Syria. As I said at the beginning, these people, even they themselves said very clearly that they are independents. They don't represent the Syrian opposition. They don't represent any of the political parties. So I think, even if the regime tried to utilize this, it will not succeed, because at the end of the day, the will of the people and the will of the revolution will prevail.